Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker here, and I'm feeling a lot better with the jaws. You know, feeling way better, way better. I'm actually feeling pretty damn excited too as well. Now, I've got myself a head-to-head battle here on two flagships of two multi-tool companies. I think the two largest in the world, Leatherman and Victorinox. And if we are talking about flagship multi-tools of those two companies, we are talking about, of course, the Leatherman Surge and the Victorinox Swisstool. And you're not going to want to miss this one, folks. If you're in the market for either one of these tools, I think you better have a listen and check this out at the tabletop. Now, quickly, before we get to that, please don't forget to subscribe and give me the thumbs up. Help me spread my voice. I appreciate it so much, you guys out there. Now, we've hit our 1,000 and we're above that now. Let's just keep on going onward and upward. So don't forget to press that subscribe. All right, let's go to the tabletop and let's have a look. Okay, now both of these multi-tools are, they have got quality written over both of them like nobody's business. And right off the bat, if we have a look at, let's just say the pouches, I like the fact that the Leatherman has got that little bit of extra pouch on the side here that you can put, say, this one here has the ratcheting tool in it, and we'll put that off the side because we'll just compare the tools to the tools. And I also put a little bit of a flashlight inside there too as well. So it's the flap opening, and the Victorinox has the flap opening too as well. Just out of plain old aesthetics though, I think that is just looks really excellent. The Victorinox wins, I think, out of aesthetics. I think it's a better looking case. I like this little orange clasp. Both of them are a nylon material, but functionality, the Leatherman wins there. And I think you're going to be seeing that probably a pattern that's going to run throughout these multi-tools. All right, so let's open them up and let's just put this aside here, right here, and right here. Two really good looking multi-tools. Let's put those across the side. Although we do in the back here, this will be part of the Leatherman tool here, but we'll put that off the side there. Now, as you can see here, right off the bat, it looks like they've taken two sort of design philosophies right off the bat, where you've got, and I suppose you could probably think of these as two cars. You've got yourself the Corvette and you've got your Porsche 911. I mean, two different cars that are going to get you going there. They're both going to put a smile on your face. They're both going to be fun to ride, but it also depends on what the personality that you have too as well, and what you're actually going to be using them for too as well. All right, so let's have a look here. So we can have a look at them right off the side. Looks like your Swisstool is a little bit longer, and but it looks like your Leatherman is a little bit wider. Now, as far as the depth of them, your Surge here too is also quite a bit wider than the Leatherman, and that really plays a part into when you're actually wearing both of these on your hip. I found that the Leatherman Surge was heavier, was more bulky, and it got caught up quite a bit, and it seemed like the Victorinox Swisstool just rode a little bit nicer too as well. Now, this particular Swisstool here is the Swisstool that doesn't have the scissors on it. Now, if you happen to have the scissors on this Swisstool, it would be called the Swisstool X. So that is a really big strike against this tool, because scissors are one of the tools that I use the most in any sort of multi-tool whatsoever. Of course, I use the blade here and there, but scissors, it's a big positive for this Surge. Now, we can kind of pretend this one had the scissors because Victorinox does make an excellent scissor. But don't get me wrong, I love scissors in a multi-tool. All right, so let's kind of go over the look here, the specs on this particular one here. Just by the straight numbers, close length is 4.5 inches or 11.5 centimeters. The primary blade length here is 3.1 inches. So it is sub 3.5, but it is still a great blade, no doubt. Your weight it's really porky at 12.5 ounces. You can really feel it on your hip, and of course the material is 420 HC stainless steel, so it is a full kind of stainless steel. Now, if I go over here to the Victorinox here as well. Now the height here, if they get the length, is 21 millimeters. Of course, they don't have that in inches. So, that's, what would that be? Height. So 21 mil is this, I guess that's they're talking about is 21 mil. So 2.1 centimeters. So they're talking about I guess the thickness in that. The length is 115 millimeters, which would be, just shorter here than you can see here. And the weight is 289 grams. So I wish I could figure that out right off the bat here. I should have had that in. Let's just see if I can plug this in real quick and get into the old English of the US of A, where they have no metric system. You poor guys. All right, here we go. Length is 4.5 inches. Weight is 10.2 ounces. So it is 2 ounces lighter. And of course, the height is 0.8 of an inch. So it's just about an inch wide or an inch deep. Now, they say that it is 4.5. Let's just see here. If I look at them this way. Oh, it might be just a little bit of a optical illusion that this one is quite a bit longer. It's not. I mean, they are within a half a mil of each other. So good thing I read that, because I thought this one was quite a bit longer, and it's not. Hey, well, you learn something new every day. So let's open these buggers up here, and then let's compare. Probably one of the most important things, if you're going for a multi-tool of this sort, the multi-tools of this sort you're going to be looking at is, the important things are going to be the plier head as well as the blades. A lot of the other things out there are complete bonuses, but you can see here that it looks like your Swisstool is not quite as wide as your Leatherman. Pretty darn close. Now your Leatherman here has got a little bit of an extra length too as well. Now with it's kind of a needle nose kind of combo on both of them. You can see though, it looks like your Victorinox will be able to kind of get into those areas a little bit easier than say your Leatherman Surge. But your Leatherman Surge here really has that extra kind of big gripping surface where I know that I have used this for plumbing, and you've got that 3/4 inch pipe, and I've used it to take off shower heads at hotels so I can clean out the restrictor, because I hate running around in a circle in the shower, and this works excellent. And this one here just doesn't have the reach to grab a hold of a big 3/4 inch pipe as well as the Surge does too as well. And you can see both with the cutting heads too here. Now your Victorinox cutting head here it does do regular wire. They say it'll do hard wire up to 47 HRC, where with your Leatherman Surge, you've got replaceable cutting jaws. So if you happen to run into something that's going to cut one of these jaws or break it, you can replace it. They are 154 cm cutting blades, so they are an advanced or kind of a little bit better steel than the Victorinox or the Leatherman without the replaceable jaws. So now smoothness right out of the box here. The Surge here it's not near as nice to open and close as your Victorinox. So your Victorinox is smooth right out of the gate. Now I know that both of these tools here are fairly new. They're both of the tools are older, but neither one of them has been used to what their life's extent in the least little bit. But now as far as comfortability here, ergonomics on the outside, I think in this particular case, I really would have to give it to the Leatherman here. These really rounded off edges are so comfortable in the palm of your hand, and it is, although it is kind of nice and big and thick in your hand, it is still comfortable. If you really need to bear down on something to cut it or to grip it, you can really get it, some excellent grippage with this one here. Now, even though these are rounded too as well, they're quite a bit thinner, and they do dig into the palm of your hand just a little bit too as well. All right, so the plier heads, I think I'm going to give it to the Surge 2 as well. So now, having a look at the tool set, the one really nice thing here about the Surge is the fact that you have got 4 main tools are available from the outside. With now your smaller tools, you have to open up and grab them from the inside. Whereas with your Victorinox, all your tools are available from the outside. You don't need to open it up at all to get any of your tools. But they aren't one-handed, so there is a little bit of a trade-off there too as well. You can grab all the tools, but you can't do them one-handed. This one, you can grab your foreign-made tools one-handed, but to get to the rest, you have to open them up and close it, that little bit of extra step. So let's have a look at the main blade of each one. All right, that's not the right main blade. The main blade right here. Okay. And here we go. So these are the main blades here of both tools. Now you can see here that the Swisstool is very reminiscent of the Swiss Army knives out there. I mean, it is a tried and tested design that they've used forever. And let's see if I can clean that off there just a little bit. That is one thing about this Swisstool, is it is a fingerprint magnet. It has a whole lot higher chromium than the Leatherman. Hello. All right, now both are locking too as well, and this one here is actually truly one-handed, open and close. No issues. It's actually got a little bit of a liner lock there. It is a fairly safe lock. Now this here came from factory, extremely sharp. And this one here is actually 420HC, where you have here with the Victorinox steel is, I think it is just basically a stainless steel with a crazy amount of chromium in it. I think it is called 411 stainless, which is just, you know, a fairly decent steel edge holding ability. I think the 420HC is going to beat it edge holding ability. Toughness too as well. I think you're going to have a little bit more tougher steel with the 420HC. But stainlessness, your Victorinox is going to win that way. Now, as far as shape is concerned, I happen to like this little draw point here too as well. I like the fact that it's a little bit bigger blade, and it's a little bit stouter blade too as well. So blade, I think I'm going to give it to the Surge, and a big part of that is based on the fact that it's opening and closing one-handed. All right, so on the opposite tool here, you have got a pair of scissors, where, oh, and the locking here too as well is you can, I suppose, close this one-handed. If you had, you know, you pull it back, you could just kind of close it that way, you know, if you press it against something. Now, if you have your Victorinox if this was the Victorinox X, you would get a set of scissors here, but instead you get a serrated blade, and it's very much the same way, same style of blade as your Leatherman blade. So let's put this away, because this will go against the serrated blade here, against the other serrated blade. Now you see the Leatherman here has got this little thing on the back that tells you that it's serrated, and it is a chisel ground serrated. Most serrations are chisel ground. I happen to think that this is same thing, 420HC to the serrations on the Leatherman, and both of them are god-awful sharp. And I think that the serrations on the Victorinox are actually a little bit sharper, just straight old feeling, than the Victorinox or than the Leatherman. But like I said, I like this extra length, extra bulk on this serrated one as compared to this one. So if I had to go serration to serrations, I'm also going to give this blade to the Leatherman. And a big part of that is the locking mechanism. All right, so let us hear. So this is what we have for your file. All right, so it is a removable file, and we will go with the file on the Victorinox. So if we go file to file, now this one here is a removable file system. So inside your Leatherman pouch, you have got this little blade. So in there, you've also got your little bit of a wood saw. So on your Leatherman system here, on one side you've got diamond, on the other side you've got a crosshatch pattern, on the bottom you have got yourself a little bit of a saw. All right, so now the Victorinox here, you have got files on both sides, and then you've got a little bit more of an aggressive saw there too as well. And it's really, really hard to put a winner to this one. I like the little bit of an extra length that you get here with the Victorinox, and the fact that you get a little bit more aggressive saw. But I really, really like the fact that you've got yourself an excellent diamond blade on this side. And sometimes you get some harder steel, some of them super steels, that you do need a diamond file to actually file. But and then you've got the ability to put on a saw. Now with this particular one, the saw and the, I think that I'm going to give the file to the Victorinox based on the size and based on the fact that it saws quite a bit faster than the Leatherman. Final answer. All right, so let's kind of close this up here a little bit here too as well, and let's put that off to the side until we look at the saws. Okay, so let's open this up and have a look at some screwdrivers here. All right, so you've got two screwdrivers right there. And in this one here, you've got your screwdriver here too, kind of your main screwdriver. So this one here is a screwdriver that is a removable screwdriver. You've got a flathead on one side, and you've also got a 2D Phillips on that. And this one here, you've got a Phillips too as well. So if you had to close this up, and there we go. So when you're talking about screwdrivers here, you've got a little bit of length here, and it tapers towards the center, so it's a little bit more versatile, easier to use. You don't try to get that kind of off centered, where this one here is completely down the center. There's no trying to get to the center, but you can also take it and you can use it handle here too as well, which is really, really nice. Now, this here is a little bit of a cheat, I suppose, here, but I always carried this with my Surge, which is a regular 1/4-inch bits, and you also have this little 1/4-inch bit driver that I happen to grind on the grinder, and I could take this out, put it inside there, and then I had myself a regular 1/4-inch grinding adapter that I could put regular bits in. So that's a little bit of a cheat, I suppose. If we had to go with just straight screwdriver to screwdriver, I think I might go with this. But based on the fact that I can use this with a little bit of ingenuity, I think I'm going to go with the screwdriver here. I like the fact that this is a Phillips as well as a flat in the same one, and it leads to more versatility with a little bit of extra thought. All right, so let's close. And the other thing too as well is I really, really like the closing ability, the lock here on the Surge. It's just a matter of clipping it and then it's ready to close. Where this one takes a little bit more, it's a little bit more where you can kind of pull that down. It's just a small thing, but hey, sometimes big things are made of a lot of little small things. Now, so let's open this up. And here, of course, we have the screwdriver, or the can openers. Let's just have a look here. Now, your can opener on your Swisstool comes with a little 3mm flathead screwdriver, and this one here is just nothing but a straight old can opener. And both of them are kind of the tried and tested designs. This one here has got the flathead, so it actually moves into the cut. Or this one here, when you're using it, you're cutting and you're going backwards. I mean, both of them will work, but I think for as far as can openers, I think I would probably go with the Victorinox, just based upon the fact that it gives you a little bit of an extra versatility with a little bit of a flathead, tiny bit of a pry tool there too as well. Where this one is just straight, nothing but a can opener. All right, so let's move off to the other side, and we'll have a look at the tools on the outside. Okay, now both tools have got an all right here. Right, where's the demo? Oh no, that's not it. That's it. Right there. Both tools have got themselves an awl, and both of them are, nice and sharp. I think the sharpness will probably go to the Victorinox, is a little bit sharper. But I like the fact that the Leatherman has got the sewing eye in it too as well. So you can use this to not only go in to drill wood, and even though it's not quite as sharp as this one, it'll still drill really, really nice. But you've got the added availability of being able to sew leather in a pinch too as well. And I think that's very, very important. Great, both of them great designs. Just going to give it to the Leatherman a tiny bit. All right. Let's close this up here a little bit. Okay, you've got yourself a couple of flat-headed screwdrivers here in the Surge. We're on this one here. I always want to open these up. You've got a really nice big fat screwdriver here. Both of them are extra thick too as well. This one here just seems like all the edges have been chamfered. It feels better, but I think you've got a little bit of a more kind of scraping with this one as compared to this one. And I think that this is a tie. This is a tie, no doubt about it. But here we have our can opener and our multi-tool here. So let's close this one up here. All right, I just need to go and have a look at this Surge for a quick second. All right, tools, number 14. Oh, so I guess this is also a can opener, not just a bottle opener too as well. Oh, 15 is the bottle opener. Yeah, so it is 2-in-1, and here is the Victorinox bottle opener. So you've got not only have a bottle opener, it also turns into a flat-headed screwdriver, as well as a little bit of a wire bender there too as well. So gonna give the can opener to Victorinox. And here is one more thing that is Victorinox is, I think, a great secret weapon of Victorinox. I think that this is one of my favorite tools of any multi-tool whatsoever, which is this one right here. So what you have here is you've got yourself a nice little sharp chisel. You've got yourself a wire stripper here too as well. And you've got yourself a cable cutter, as well as you can use the corner here to get into a nice big, opening up those packages of those clamshell packages that are horrible. You can use this little tool here. I love this little tool. This is one of my absolute little favorite tools, no doubt about it. And I just wish Leatherman had something along the lines the same way, which they don't. All right, so let's go over here for one more thing. Let's have a look at the big old saws. All right, here we go. Now here you've got yourself a bi-directional saw on your, here, let's open this up here too as well. here's your saws here too as well. So this one here, you've got a bidirectional saw, which basically means it'll cut, pull, and push stroke too as well. And you know, you got yourself a little bit of an extra length here with the with this Victorinox. But the Leatherman here is no slouch whatsoever. Now I use this here to cut through a 2x4, and I always threw it in lickety split. I was under 30 seconds through a 2x4 with this type of blade. Now, the fact that you've got this kind of universal blade holder also allows you to use longer blades too as well. So even though this one here fits inside this little package inside your Leatherman tool, you can actually use quite a bit longer blades. You can carry yourself a little bit longer blade, up to, you know, 6 inches or so, and then you've got a hell of a great tool right there and there. You have to carry it in a different spot, or even you can get yourself a jigsaw blade where you've got about the same blade as this in this container, and it'll still fit inside there too as well, because there is quite a bit of room in there. So you can actually carry quite a bit bigger saw blade inside here if you wanted to, without breaking a sweat. So I'm going to give the fact that this has the extra versatility, I'm going to give the saw to the Leatherman Surge. But just by a hair. And I'm actually really quite impressed with the Victorinox tool here. I thought the Surge was going to actually, I was thinking about this for a long time here, and I thought the Surge was going to absolutely run away with it, because to me this Surge is the most versatile tool out there, or at least in my mind it was the most versatile tool that was out there. But this Victorinox Swisstool is making a really strong case for itself. Now there is some intangible tools too as well. You've got yourself a really great ruler too here on both of them. On this side here, your ruler here is on the inside edges here. So I mean, that just basically leads you to lower it like this, and then you can measure along the sides, where this one here you could just measure this way, right? The other thing here that's really nice with this tool is, I wouldn't use it to build a house, but you can do kind of a square with it too as well, to keep things kind of a little bit square. This one here too as well, you can do it, but it doesn't have the flat edges on the outside like this one does. So that's a little bit more to the Victorinox Swisstool. Now the scissors here are the killer for me. If this had scissors, oh my goodness, I would hate to say, but even without the scissors, I think that the Surge is a little bit more versatile tool, and the reason being is because even though we're not talking multi-tool to multi-tool, we're talking about the other intangible things. Once you add stuff like this, which is now a new built from Leatherman ratchet holder that fits inside the bit holder here. So this is one that was the first one was the one I built myself. This is one now that Leatherman has built from the Leatherman factory. And there we go. So now it is actually a ratcheting folder. So all of these extra bits that are in there, including even some of your drill bits that will fit inside there, they'll actually fit there. Now it's, you know, it's not crazy solid. I mean, it's got a tiny bit of movement in it, but a tiny bit of a tiny bit of tape around there. You can get a aluminum foil tape, just a smidge of tape on there, actually tightens that up quite a bit, but it just gives you that extra versatility. And I gotta tell you, when I'm opening up a package or opening up something like this, that is way nicer than doing this. So that is, and then I do know that Victorinox does come with its own type of tools, that way as extenders, but they're not as handy as the Leatherman. They're actually totally separate tools. They're like a little L tool, so you can get them, but they are not as handy. So this is gonna come down to the wire here. I would have to say, based upon what is here in this room right now, if I was only given one tool for the rest of my life, I would go with a Leatherman. I think it's just that little bit more of a usable tool than the Swisstool. Now, if I had to carry one on my hip for the rest of my life, that's a different story, because I carry this one inside a backpack, and it drives me crazy how much this snags in the weight of it. Even though this is only 2 ounces lighter, it is still lighter, and it carries so much nicer. But like, again, I guess there is going to be people out there who are going to disagree with me for sure. Just like there are people who would rather drive a Porsche 911 than a Corvette, because that's how you got to kind of think of these things. You got yourself a Porsche 911 here with the exquisite engineering, and you've got yourself the Corvette here with the go fast muscle car, straight line, hell bent for leather down the road, and that just seems like and it's no wonder because you've got a European built multi-tool and you've got one built in America. And when you're looking at this one, you're looking at Merca. And when you're looking at this one, you're looking at total engineering. So, some of the things here, like each individual spring here, when you open up that tool, that's the tool that comes out. That is superb engineering. Like, where this one here, when you open out some of the tools, I have to open up. They come out, and that may, with a little bit of time, that will kind of lessen a little bit too as well, because it does break in a little bit. But this one here didn't need to break in right off the bat. Right off the bat, it was smooth like glass. So you have got yourself, depending upon taste. Now, because these are tools, and these tools are meant for work, I'm going to go with a Surge. And that is like, let's just say this was a 10 out of 10. This here is a 9.9 out of 10. That's how close these are. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. Both of them. Oh, one other thing I forgot to talk about, 25-year, no questions asked warranty, limited lifetime warranty on the Victorinox Swisstool. So if you're in Europe and you want to, something goes wrong with your tool, you want to send it in, easier to do your Swisstool. No brainer. If you're in North America and you want to pop this in the post and send it off to Leatherman, they'll replace it, no problem. There's absolutely no problem with their warranty whatsoever. So I am impressed with both tools. I am very, very blessed to be able to have both tools. But like I said, now the other thing too, you might want to put a little bit of price, pay a little bit of attention to is price. $169 US, where this one here is $139. So a few bucks there too as well, and that's just straight tool for tool. That's not talking about the the X Plus and all that stuff, because the X is a little bit more expensive than that with the scissors too as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Leatherman Surge or the Victorinox, but by the slimmest of margins. And I hope you guys like what I had to say here. I hope it was informative, and I hope it helps you make a decision. Of course, I want to see all the comments on what you guys would do in yours, and I know that there is going to be lots of comments. There are going to be lots of people disagreeing with me too as well, and there'll be lots of people agreeing with me too as well. So, but I appreciate you guys stopping by, and please stay safe out there. We're not out of the woods. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.